Hey DV, welcome back to our second episode of Conquest Journal. I'm Amber.
I'm Aaron. Let's get started.
Martin Luther King Day is a memorable day.
Let's see the history behind it.
The following footage contains graphic violence. Viewer discretion is advised.
Martin Luther King led a civil rights movement that focused on nonviolent protest. Mr. King's vision of equality and civil disobedience changed the world for his children and the children of all oppressed people. He changed the lives of African Americans in his time and the decades to come. Martin Luther King Jr. is known for his contributions to the American Civil Rights Movement in the 1960s. His famous work is his I Have a Dream speech, delivered in 1963, which he spoke of his dream of the United States that is void of segregation and racism.
Happy to join with you today in what will go down in history.
How are things shaping up now for tomorrow?
Things are shaping up beautifully. We have people coming in from all over the country. I suspect that we will have representatives from almost every state in the Union and naturally a large number of people from the state of Alabama. They told us we wouldn't get here. There were those who said that we would get here only over their dead bodies.
After Martin Luther King's movement, it's impacted today's life with people still fighting for equal rights. People with different rights still join side by side.
In a noticeably more relaxed attitude from law enforcement here in Los Angeles today, essentially allowing marchers to go almost wherever they please.
Is of freedom and justice. I have a dream that my 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. I have a dream today.
The storming of the Capitol has changed this nation forever.
Let's take a look at the events that unfolded.
The tragic events that occurred on January 6, 2021 will be a part of this nation forever. Early morning in Washington, D.C., Congress gathered to annually count the electoral ballots.
The Senate and House of Representatives are meeting in joint session to verify the certificates and count the votes of the electors of the several states for President and Vice President of the United States.
During this, former President Trump was having a speech near the Capitol building.
We're going to walk down to the Capitol, and we're going to cheer on our brave senators and congressmen and women.
A few minutes later, protesters started to break down the barriers to the Capitol. Once this happened, protesters were able to get inside the Capitol, and once inside, chaos begins.
At 4 p.m., a protester was shot dead inside the Capitol.
At about 5 p.m., police were able to clear the Capitol of protesters.
I know how you feel, but go home and go home in peace.
The scenes of chaos at the Capitol do not reflect a true America, do not represent who we are.
A week later, former President Trump was impeached for the second time for incitement of insurrection. His trial for impeachment is set for the beginning of February.
On this vote, the ayes are 232, the nays are 197. The resolution is adopted. Without objection, the motion to reconsider is laid upon the table.
We got students, parents, and family members' thoughts on this horrific event.
I was shocked and thought it was fake because you only see the stuff in movies. I was feeling scared because they were just walking in.
I was scared because I didn't know how people were going to react. I didn't know what the government was going to do. I didn't know if it was going to start a chain of reactions, one after another. And it was very scary to hear about the storming of the Capitol.
I feel like it was something that people don't want to happen here, especially in our own country. I was scared, shocked. I was anxious that there would be more riots across the country as well.
I felt really disappointed when that happened. And the reason being because it's our country and people are fighting against each other, and we shouldn't be doing that. It was heartbreaking because, I see people climbing over the Capitol, and it was just, like I said, heartbreaking.
The storming of the Capitol is something that we will never forget. Reporting for Conquest Journal, Mitzi Delgado.
As Texas gets doses of the vaccine, people are setting up their appointments.
Texas continues to receive doses of the Pfizer and Moderna COVID-19 vaccine and is distributing statewide to hospitals, pharmacies, local health departments, freestanding ERs, and other clinics. Frontline healthcare workers and residents at long-term care facilities, plus people over 65 or with a chronic medical condition that puts them at increased risk for severe illness from COVID-19, are currently eligible to receive the COVID-19 vaccine.
I was nervous, but as I got the vaccine, I felt really excited and really hopeful for the future of El Paso, of our country, of our community, everybody.
After you get the vaccine, you will still need to wear a mask, social distance, and wash your hands often. Remember, don't show up at a hospital or clinic looking for a vaccine. For local vaccine information, check out www.epstrong.org. Reporting for Conquest Journal, Daniela Garcia.
This year's spring sports are now in season. Let's see how they are doing.
The pandemic has caused so much uncertainty, but fortunately, spring sports had a chance to have a season. Let's see how their season is going.
What we're doing for precautions as COVID, we're wearing our masks during games and practices, and making sure to sanitize and take our temperature before every practice and game.
What you will be expecting from the Dubai women's soccer team is a great season overall. We'll have our wins, we'll have our losses, but overall we stay as one family.
Although we've had a really great year since we obtained the district and by-district titles in the fall, it is our last season for many of us seniors, so we expect to give it our all this upcoming season.
And 3, what you could expect for us this season is us having a winning season, having a better season than last season.
I expect a lot of good things. I think we're all going to do good times and just hard work.
I believe that the team is doing very well. I believe that we have the best team since the history of Del Valle, simply because we've obtained district and by-district titles in the which have not been done in the past 10 years.
How me and my team adjust to the precautions due to COVID, we do it very well. We try to stay away 6 feet away from each other. It's hard because we're not used to these type of precautions, but we will adjust in any way in order to have a season.
Del Valle is taking serious precautions to keep coaches and players safe from COVID-19. We wish the best of luck to all the sports this season. Reporting for Conquest Journal, Liliana Munoz.
Former DV student Steven Montes is moving on to the next level of his football career.
Let's see what he's up to now.
In a bit of a surprise, El Paso native Steven Montes.
Directing traffic, fires it. Here's play action for Montes. Looking deep. Chenault is open for the touchdown.
Former Del Valle High School student Steven Montes is making dreams come true. Back at DV, he earned All-State honors in Class 5A and helped lead the team to third-round playoffs as a junior. He continued his football career after high school to University of Colorado Boulder.
Montes.
As a freshman in college, he led the team to the Alamo Dome.
Oh my goodness! Are you kidding me? How did he do it? Oh my goodness!
He finished his career with a total of 10,555 offensive yards and 9,569 yards passing.
Montes will be headed to our nation's capital. Hail to the Washington Redskins.
Steven had declared for the NFL draft. Unfortunately, did not get drafted, but did get signed as an undrafted rookie by the Washington football team. Later demoted to the practice squad until week 15 when he was promoted to the 53-man roster, but did not have the chance to play. Hopefully next NFL season, he'll be able to show people what he can do on the field. Reporting from Conquest Journal, Gilbert Horseman.
2020 was a tough year.
Let's see if we can make 2021 even better.
Lessons are the number one thing to learn every year, especially in 2020. With 2020 being such a hard year, there's many things we can do differently in 2021. This year affected us in many different ways. Though this year was life-changing, we need to think of ways to make out 2021 better. What is an important lesson you learned?
An important lesson I think that I learned this year would be not taking life for granted or any second, and just basically enjoying every moment, because you never know when it can just be taken away.
An important lesson I learned in 2020 was to admire the little things in life, because life is too short, you never know what's planned.
One lesson I learned in 2020 is not to judge someone by how they look, because if you judge someone by how they look, you might know who they really are on the inside.
What will you do differently in 2021?
I think one thing that I would be doing different is making sure that I work harder in anything I do, especially in dance, since I haven't been able to dance like in actual classroom. It's kind of different, so I really miss it. So I think I should enjoy it more, and every time I'm in the dance room, give it my all.
Something different I would do this year is I'd put myself first in every situation that I'm in.
What I would do differently in 2021 is I would not judge people by how they look, because you never know if they could be your best friend for the next.
Did 2020 affect and change your life? If so, how?
I would say it has affected many people as well as it has affected me, because especially this year, since also it was another year on the dance team, which I really like dancing. That's all I do. So it's something that I really miss, and I think it's just very hard on everyone.
Well, the only thing different for me was that we're not allowed to go out. We try really hard to stay healthy and to take care of our family, because I work on a hospital. It was really hard for me.
2020 was tough. It changed my life. It was a year that my tia was diagnosed with cancer and with breast cancer, and still kind of hit.
2020 did affect my life because of the COVID situation, and I can't go out to see my friends, and I can't go to school, and online learning has been a real drag for me since I.
Was there something you wish or haven't done in 2020?
I wish things could go back to normal, because I really miss being with my friends and just hanging out with people and having that interaction with others.
Something I regret not doing is opening up to myself and not being open-minded to a lot of things.
Not really. I think we, all of us, we do a really good job, because after all the things that happened, our family is healthy, and
One thing I would say is that I regret is not taking advantage of the situation and the time and everything that we have, because like I said, we never know when that can be taken away.
Reporting for Conquest Journal, Ana Acosta.
That's it for this week's episode of Conquest Journal.
Signing off.
Hold on, I'm on. Go. The Stormen have. Hold on. 3, 2.
This year's spring sports are now in season. Let's see how they are doing.